Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
My husband and I have a great love story. The short version is that our whole church got us together. Then we got married at that church. But the love story doesn't end there. In fairy tales and romance novels, the story ends with a guy getting the girl, and even if it's not implicitly written, it's implied, and they lived happily ever after. But how many marriages do you know like that? Every couple has their ups and downs, obstacles and challenges. So my and my husband's love story is still being written 27 years later. In the Bible, we read Genesis 24, where Abraham's servant miraculously finds Rebekah and brings her back to marry Isaac. We smile as we read the last verse of the chapter. Then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. And he loved her sounds ever so much like, and they lived happily ever after. But then we read chapter 25. That they're having some problems. Like her mother-in-law Sarah, Rebekah was barren. They'd been married 20 years and still no children. In that day, the more children someone had, the more blessed the person was. No children meant God was displeased. Now we know today that's not necessarily the case, but sometimes God does hold back His blessings, whether that's the blessing of children or some other blessing in our life. So we can turn to Him and completely depend on Him. So we can see Him working and know He did it. It wasn't just a natural occurrence or something that we did in our own power. And when we turn to Him and He answers our prayer, what we receive is extra special. Isaac and Rebekah learned this. In Genesis 25:21 it says, "Now Isaac pleaded with the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord granted his plea, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived." What is your deepest desire? Have you prayed over it? Not that God will give it to you right away. Abraham and Sarah had to wait 25 years. Isaac and Rebekah had to wait 20 years. But God's timing is always perfect and always worth the wait. After Rebekah conceived, she had another problem. Her pregnancy wasn't normal, and it worried her. But she was a woman of prayer. She brought her concerns to the Lord. She basically asked, "God, what's going on here?" Now I've asked that, and God doesn't always tell me. All I can assume is, on a need-to-know basis, I don't really need to know. Now this time, God gave her a prophecy that explained why she felt a war was going on inside of her. She was going to have twins, and they wouldn't get along. The older would serve the younger. Interpreting this as a mother, I'm sure Rebekah thought, the next 20 years or so are not going to be easy. And they weren't. So both Isaac and Rebekah give us a great example of prayer, when you want something or when you don't understand what's going on. Yet there are plenty more reasons for prayer. God wants His children to come to Him for everything, not just when we need something. What do you need to pray about today?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.